Episode 49. We back, we back, we back.
Yes, sir.
Been a long time, y'all. This is Dandin.
It's RJ Machismo. What's going on, everybody?
Hey, live and direct. It's been over 5, 6 months since we've been back. It's
And
January. So a lot of life things happening, and
yes, sir.
you know, we're still trying to stay afloat, and we still haven't forgot about y'all, and we still wanted to say thank you for supporting us. I wanted to use my green background, but having some technical difficulties. But and as you can tell, RJ has holding a little
Baby
one.
number two, man. Baby number two, right?
Yes. So you want to go into detail a little bit?
Yeah. So just the past 2 months. I'm born in March. She's 2 months old now. Her name is Reagan. Second girl added to the family. So the big girl over here sleeping. Yes, sir.
Oh man, congratulations.
Yes, sir.
How does it feel to be a parent of two?
Feels great, man. To be honest with you, it's really life changing. How everyone says it to be, and it's
Yeah.
true. So that's great, man. Can't wait to see what's in the future.
Yeah. So did they say that is it harder, is it more difficult having a second one comparing to just having one kid?
Yeah, definitely having a second one is really difficult.
Hey, but you're making it happen.
Yeah, you really gotta prepare for two, so instead of one. So
Yeah. I'm happy with one. So
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. So, RG had a baby girl, during this missed time. That's why during that time last year, like you see RJ out of, not in the podcast episode, but primary reason that's it. You know, just supporting, his lady and his family, and like I said, this is a partnership. Everybody are on the same page. You know, and this is for you guys. It's not for me, not for him. We do this because we like what we do. And in me, it feels weird in a good way to be back doing this. And also like just listening to other people's podcasts is cool. I see a lot of like cool podcasts that's been growing and gaining more, audience and viewership. So much props to them. So many things that happened for me on a personal note. Back in October, I had a water flood or water leak in my bathroom. Took basically flooded all my floors. I had some molding, and basically I was just been stuck in the hotel for 6 months, and it's terrible. I don't wish it on anyone. I didn't really tell it publicly. I only told certain people. RJ knows, and certain people know. Um, but yeah, I've been back home about 3 weeks ago, and yeah, I can't, like, the simple things like just being at home,
yes, sir.
sleeping in your own bed. You know, that's just like the simple things that you miss the most.
Yeah,
You can stay in a hotel for like a couple days, but 6 months, man, I don't recommend it.
yeah, that's a long time, man.
Mm-mm.
That is a long time to be in a hotel.
Yeah, I don't feel like, I don't think an NBA player like traveling for playing 8 months in a season. They don't get to do that,
Right.
you know. So that's been there, done there. But we've been there, done that. I'm happy to be home. Um, you know, everyone's doing good here. Can't complain. Um,
Getting back to the normal.
Getting back to the normal, yeah. Just how we just move forward. A lot of life occurrences, but still blessed, still happy. Still got a lot of things going on. Got a lot of goals that we all want to reach. especially for this podcast. And yeah, I just want to just say first thank you to everybody that's been supporting us. We've been doing this, man, since pandemic, man. 20, what, 20,
June,
yeah,
June
2020.
2020. Yeah.
Yeah, June. So
All the time.
we're gonna be closing to 2 years now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But enough about me. So we wanted to make it, switch it up a little bit. We're gonna talk about, RJ, because he's been part of the reason, you guys haven't seen him in a long time. And I wanted to, put the spotlight on him. RJ does have he does have a little side gig that he's very passionate about, and organically it just turned into something that it just went on its own. It had his own legs. His name and his work is out there. RJ Visions. So I'm just gonna ask RJ a couple of questions, and we'll go into detail with that. So with RJ, so how did you get into photography?
Well, first and foremost, yeah, this photography thing, it's just been happening, for the past probably like what 3, 4 years now.
Hmm.
Um, it's just something that I wanted to do, but it just started off with shoes and everything. Just taking pictures. You know how we used to do back then with the iPhones, take pictures, and
Yep.
we were hoping to get like tagged by like So Collector
Mm.
or the shoe game or whatever.
Yeah.
Riff LA and all that stuff. And fortunately for me, I got a few recognition from Soul Collector and Riff LA. They put up my pictures in there, but then that was with the iPhone. Um, I wish I could have had like a DSLR camera back then. That would have been cool. I would have helped out everybody too that had like businesses on a rise. Like I was telling Randy with the whole GFN crew, if I would kind of started early with the whole photography thing, I would have helped out too. I would have contributed with their collection of like photos. But yeah, I mean, it just started like 3, 4 years ago for me. I'm still new to the game. I'm not a pro yet, if you want to call it that way. But you guys could see my work on Instagram. It's rj.vision. So check that out if you have the time. So
Yeah, yeah. And you know, RJ, you've done a lot. I've seen your Instagram. You primarily it's your way of business is through networking, right? Word of mouth.
yeah, yeah.
So can you share to us like that moment for you where it that you realized that you wanted to take this to another level, as far as like it went from taking shoe sneaker pictures on your iPhone to like getting like a real camera? Like when did that moment happen for you?
I think it was just one of those things where it was like it had the click saying that like you got to just do it. You just got to go ahead and buy a camera and then just start, crafting the photos, like taking the photos and creating. I guess you want to create like moments for some people. So it's just one of those things that I wanted to do, and I think that started when I got my first DSLR. I think it was I forgot what birthday was it, but it was like 2016 or something like that. So I got my first camera there, and I just started taking photos from there on out, and you know, we just it just popped off from there. It was just a lot of opportunities, and I'm thankful for the people that like I worked with and that put me on with other people as well. So I think that's where it kind of like rocketed.
So like was it difficult to you in the beginning stages? Like did you like you use YouTube? Did you like read on any like articles or like things that helped you make your pictures better? Like what were the things that was there what were like the early struggles for you, is what I'm saying, like as far as like starting about with with photography?
I think the early struggles was just trying to see the direction of like what I wanted to photograph, what I wanted to take pictures of. Because at that time I wasn't really as much into sneakers as I used to. So it's like I just wanted to get that direction. Like, do I want to do people or do I want to do sneakers? So I just had to decide on which what I wanted to do at that
Mm,
point. So you know, I think it just went to the direction where it was like I gotta just start doing people people photography or like street photography. So
so with sneakers, what was like one of your favorite photos that you took, like sneaker wise? Like it could be like anyone's sneaker or your sneaker that still stands out to you to this day. Like what was that for you?
I think it was I think it might have been the South Beach one that I took,
Oh, I remember those.
the on feet one, and then it was the one with the pennies. That's the one that Soul Collector recognized, or like it was like 1 cent Tuesdays or something.
Yeah.
It was that, those South Beach ones, and then the low top eights, the bread eights.
Oh,
Yeah, so those were the three pictures, and like I said, those were just with iPhone photos. It was an iPhone 5 that I took photos of.
that's
Um,
crazy.
I mean, imagine if we had like, that was like I had like a DSLR back then. It would have been probably the quality probably would have been like better, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is what it is.
That's crazy though. So like how did you feel when, a Soul Collector and was it Slam too that also
I
like
think
asked
so.
for?
Yeah. Slam and Full Locker asked for my photo to be used. It was the baking photo, like the Nike Air baking.
Oh, okay.
So, they would ask if they could have the right to use it with their poster, but they're not going to tell you where, right? So they're just pretty much they get your photos and then they just post it somewhere else. You're never going to see it. Someone else might see it, but
Yeah.
it's just the fact that they asked you. But for sure they're going to put it in one of their posters.
Hmm.
Um, but I think that's one of the best, like pretty much my best memory of like them asking me of that. That's pretty cool for me.
That's dope. And did they ever like, gifted you anything for using your photos? Like did they coupon code, a shirt, some
No, it was
sneakers?
just a recognition. To be honest with you, I don't think they were doing that at that time. So it was just like, all right, well, we'll just use your photo, and then that's it. And then we'll put your name on it, obviously
Yeah,
your Instagram handle. So
that's dope.
yeah,
Oh, it's cool, man. I think, in like I said, we'll go into detail as you get what your as you come along with your career. So another question for you: what were like the pros and cons of being like a freelance photographer? So what were the things that you realized in the beginning stage, and then like right now, like currently?
I think the pros are, for me, it's just I like what I do. It's just creating a story when it comes to taking pictures. Um, I think that's one of the biggest pros for me. It's not for I mean, yeah, like some people, the business is there as far as like making money, but for me, it's just creating the memories and taking the photos. I always want to have that connection with my client where it's like, all right, we created something. Um, you know, like as we're doing it, we're creating like a memory, like I said. So I think that's like the biggest pro for me. The cons, being a freelance, is just sometimes you don't have anything to do. Like after that wave is done of the clients that you have, especially like for me, like now recently it's just graduation season. I'm doing a lot of graduations. After that, I'm like, all right, that's all I have left, and I have free time. So I mean, I'm not like mad at it, but I think that's like the most of the con part. If it comes to like a freelance and that's the only thing you're doing, because you need something to be lined up right after that.
Yeah.
Me, I haven't really made it into like a full time job. So, like I said, we'll get into that later on. But
Yeah.
think that's the con of it, just not having to do anything right after, you finish with all the clients that you have.
Does that like during that, that set period? Because I know right now you're busy with uh graduation period, and they are great. Um, how do you like? What's the vision? Like, no pun intended. Like, what's the vision with your client? Like, do you sit down with them? Do they tell you what they want, and then do you take try to get ideas like where to take the picture? Certain things that they wear with a cap and gown, or
Yeah.
maybe something. How does that go about with for you?
Sometimes they would just go off like a previous post that I had, like a previous graduation post that I do. Like, hey, look, I like this type of style. Can we do something similar to this? And they're like, I'm like, all right, let's make it work. And everything just happens that day. Like my planning stages just happen that day. We'll talk like a week before or something before the
Mhm.
shoot, and that's about it. We don't really have like a lot of things planned out. Like we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I'm just like, hey, look, you got a lot of ideas. Let me know that day. We'll make it happen. You know, I'm because for me, I don't have a time limit when it comes to like shooting. Like for me, like my rates wise, it's just like you have me for this certain time, and we'll make it work.
Mhm.
So it's just it's put. I guess if I want to put it in an easy way, it's just an easy way of working with my client. It's just it's not really a lot of things that goes on with it. It's just really easy for me. So
That's good. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure right now, like I said, you're dealing with a lot of high school graduates, college graduates, so their mindset is different, right? Like,
yeah,
I'm no disrespect to them, but high school graduates, they want something by the monument.
yeah,
College graduates, they may want something sentimental, like and something basic, like in traditional, something like in front of their house, or a special place where they met their boyfriend, or
yeah, yeah.
those type of things. How I mean, how much of that plays a part as far as like the creative process? Like, uh, do you feel like sometimes things doesn't work, with what they're looking for, and you respectfully like provide like a suggestion? Like, how does that work as far as with
Well,
your your process?
yeah. For me, it's just like I said, my process always is like I always tell them we'll always make it work. I always tell them all the time. I mean, for like the colleges, fortunately for me, is just the people that's been hitting me up are from GW University, and for them to be doing their photos at the Lincoln, that's like that's like the thing for GW students. They like doing it from the Lincoln.
Hmm.
Some people would, like you said, they would want to do it in their house. You know, yeah, we can do it in your house, like in front of your house, but like you know, it's like all right. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm not gonna do it. Like, we can do it, but I mean, I'll say like, look, can we do something like this?
Hmm.
Like, I just wanna like I'll bring my own type of like suggestion to like you said, it was just with the whole creative process. It's just like I want them to feel special too when it comes to like having them taking a photo because it's a special moment.
Right.
You did 4 years of either high school or college. Let's do something different. Not really different, but like let's just do something special that is memorable to you. And you look at the picture, like, oh look, we did that day. Or look, we did that and it kind of worked, not really, but the picture showed that it worked. So it's
Hmm.
just one of those things. So it's just for me, it's just I like to contribute when it comes to just like would it work or not. I don't really, let's just say I'm not gonna discriminate on what they want to do. They just say, all right, let's just do a house photo. Just do the house photo. Let's do monument photo. Let's just do some lost.
Yeah.
So you know, that's just how I do it.
So like as far as like clients, you have high school, and you also have college. What about like have you done like weddings or like birthdays? Uh, how far of a scope does your photography go? Like, I know you want to expand it, but what's the difference? I mean, what's it like shooting like at a wedding or or like a convention? I know you did like a couple gigs or
Yeah.
or things like that.
Yeah, I don't really want to say I don't want to limit like what I can do. I mean, I
Mhm.
can do a wedding. It's just for me. It's just I feel like I'm not like committed to it yet because it is a lot of time, and then there's a lot of things that you have to do. You have to be there pretty much the whole day. So like for me, I feel like I can pretty much do anything. Like I've done like a baby shower. That's pretty much a party like the whole day.
Mhm.
And I did a baby shower where people that I didn't know. So I treat it as if like I'm not part of the party, right? You're just taking a photo of like people ask you, hey, can you take a photo with me here? Blah blah families, or take
Mhm.
a photo of like the picture. I mean the food and like the little things, the little
Yeah,
details that you do. And then when it comes to like the gift opening, you take those photos. So you really gotta like be professional when it comes to those things, and you just don't want to be part of it. But as far as like what I can't do, I mean I'm not gonna back down from anything. I think I mean like I say, it's just right now I'm just not. I don't think I'm ready to do a wedding, but other than that, right now I'm just doing like single portraits. So,
Mhm.
so just like I said, just creating an image and telling a story. So.
That's cool, man. So like, I want to bring it back to you because I know, pre-Instagram, when Instagram was just new, you know, you do a lot of like fit pics, right? Like you do the
Yeah,
grid, the fit grid.
the shoes and
So
boots.
yeah, so I always wanted to know, like I was always curious, like when you take pictures using, I don't know, maybe your SLR or iPhone, how is it, like a self timer that you use, or like you have like an app that you use to like get the right angle and the right, like, do you use a stand, like how does that, what's your tools to trade when you do your fit pick?
I mean, most of the time, before that, like you said prior, it was a self timer, but now it's like, you know, I have a wife, so
Oh, yeah, she
my
takes it
photo,
for you.
you know,
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that you just gotta be quick about it. So, but yeah, you can use a tripod, self timer. If you want it in a cell phone, like the TikTokers now, they have those little tripods that they,
Yeah.
you know, I want to get one of those too. So like sometimes you just want to be like a different, like if you want to like switch to into different like outfits, you could just do that.
uh
So it doesn't always have to be a DSLR. So
yeah,
you could just go straight from your phone. But yeah, I mean the biggest secret is out. So I mean the wife takes the photos.
there you go. That's the key, guys.
Yeah.
Those fit pics, it's from the missus. And i'm
Yes.
sure i'm sure the missus, you taught the missus a couple things here and there, like how to take the angles and
Well, I
how to
mean,
get you in the right spots.
I do tell her, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
You gotta take it. You just gotta take it to what it is.
Yeah,
Whatever is on there, that's it.
whether you like it or not, right?
You just gotta crop it out. But it works.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they look great. Like I said, that's why I was always curious. Like, who takes your pictures? I don't know if it's self
I mean,
timer.
yeah, it was or like before that, it was my nephew Victor. He used to take my photos back then.
That's cool, man. Hey, as long as you got like fam, wife, nephews, whoever, long as they all they're all part of the process.
Sooner or later, maybe Letty gonna take my
There you
photo.
go. I'm sure it trickles down to it's in the blood, pretty
Yeah.
much. All right. So what you were saying about the cropping, wanted to talk about a little bit of like the technology, right? So I'm not really big of like I'm not a camera like type of person, but how important is the technology today, like SLRs and the 4Ks, like how important are those cameras to your business? And then like editing too, like how do they go hand in hand as far as like making like your pictures like 100%, like great?
Well, most of the times, people say your gear doesn't matter. I mean, that's kind of like a lie. They just tell you that. I mean, it's half and half. I mean, gear does matter at the same time, depending on what you're doing. I mean, like for me, like I could have like a regular DSLR from Target, and I could take the same photos and still come up with the same quality. But if you're like into like videography, you're gonna need those high tech cameras because you need the 4K. So yes and no. That gear does matter and it does not matter sometimes. So it's just depending on what you do. As far as
Mhm.
editing tools, I mean, I'm not really big on like a lot of editing tools. My editing process is really simple, so
Yeah.
I'm not really big on that.
You
So
don't really go into like the hue and the
I mean,
contrast.
yeah, the color wise I do, but as far as
Mhm.
like photoshopping like people out of the like the pictures,
Mhm.
I'd rather just not shoot when there's no people there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just it's just less work trying to just cut people out or
Right.
like some pictures. Like I don't know how you feel about it. It's like sometimes some pictures would be looking all I don't know, like they would add like birds on there. I'm like, okay. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
art, but at the same
Mhm.
time, but the birds weren't there before though.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't know, you're kinda like you're cheating the process, you know what
exactly,
I mean?
yeah.
You're not
Something, but
catching you're not really capturing the moment.
yeah, like I've seen like pictures where like the monument got like 20,000 like lightning bolts on there. I'm like, I don't know, I don't know if
Yeah, that's
fuck that
way
up.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's not real at all.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I mean, yeah. For some people, they think that's art, and that's fine, But
Mhm.
it's just for me, I'd rather just keep it plain and simple and
Yeah.
be true to it, right? And I just want to be
Mhm.
true to it. So
And then you kinda touched in about videography. That's something that you might wanna, like, look into, like, down the road or in the future? 'Cause I
yeah,
know you did prior to this podcast, you had your own vlog, right? So you
yeah,
brought your SLR or whichever camera that you're using, and you got a lot of you gotta admit there you got a lot of traffic, got a lot
yeah,
of views and comments, on your YouTube page,
yeah.
you know.
I remember that. That's crazy. That was the Gatorsburg one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah,
What was
yeah.
that like for you? What was those days like?
I mean, it was cringy a little bit, but it was cool. It was just something new. You're like, it's someone I want to try. But like I said, then again, like I said, that came with the gear. Like my camera back
Mhm.
then couldn't really do a lot of that stuff. So,
Yeah.
it was just more like low quality video. So, you know, but now like, my camera now could definitely do it. But it's something I'm thinking of doing like later on down the line. Just not right now. So
Yeah. At least you know it's there, right? Like you
yeah,
got the technology.
yeah. And
So,
you have people that's down to like, hey, can I try this out with you? Blah
mhm.
blah. You have people that are down to do it. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
So career-wise for this, freelancing, do you see this, possibly like, as a full-time job? And I know that you're very passionate about it. So do you see something like you can do this like down the road or in the future?
Um, I don't. I would like to, but yeah, that's probably not going to be sustainable.
Yeah.
Because I mean, to have a sustainable, like I guess, career in photography, you got to do a lot of weddings. From a lot of photographers I spoke to, weddings is where it's at. And
Hmm.
that's a lot of time and commitment to do. So I think for me, it's just right now, it's just going to be like a side thing for the time being. Um, I haven't really decided on going into weddings, but I would like to do one, but not a big one, but just a small one. Something like my wedding that we did, our wedding
Yeah.
with the wife. So that's something I could have probably done. But yeah,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. For the time being, it's just going to be a side thing. So.
Yeah. And I'm sure, like I said, down the road, you'll get offers as far as a wedding, right? So you need at least one in your belt. Get
Yeah, yeah,
you
that
gotta
too.
get that experience going, and then just take it from there kind of thing. Just like in life, you just gotta try everything once, and then if you like it, then you pursue it. And then, at least if it doesn't fall into your plans, at least you can say that you tried it.
Yeah, actually, I was supposed to do it was one of those 50th anniversary
Mm-hmm.
things. I had to turn it down because I had already had a client booked for that day.
Yeah.
It was a church member too. So, I told him, I was like, hey, look, if he would have told me ahead of time, I would have done it.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been like kind of like a first wedding thing because it was like a 50th anniversary
Yeah.
for my grandparents. And it was one of those things, I guess you'd renew your vows and everything and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been like my first, but
No.
unfortunately I had to turn it down since I already
Yeah.
said yes to a client that day. So
I'm sure,
yeah,
and that's not gonna be the last.
yeah,
Won't be the last at all.
yeah. So
What else can I say? Like, oh, like family portraits, right? I know you take your own family portraits. Is that right?
mhm.
Um, how much does that mean to you when you do your own family portraits, like for your family?
Oh, it's great, man. I mean, that's I think one thing for me is just when my mom would always tell me, she always tell me, hey, look, you should always take pictures with me, or take pictures of your family. So I think that's one of the main things why I do it so much, because you always want to have those memories with your family.
Hmm.
So especially with the kids now, and our kids, they grow up so quick. They could look like like a different person 1 month, and then 2 months later they look different.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, 1 month she looks like me, and then 2 months later she looks like the wife. So
yeah.
it's like you know,
Yep.
yeah, but it's really important for me to just take a lot of photos, and it's just all creating memories. I think that's the main thing.
Man, that's dope.
Yeah.
All right. So last question, and like I said, I know you got a little one that you're attaining to. What's your advice to any aspiring freelance photographers or current photographers? So what advice would you give them based on what you went through and what you're going, what you experience like currently?
I think just keep shooting. Just don't get discouraged, because the culture is also like toxic. It's like a sneaker culture. You know,
Uh,
it's always going to be like that. Anytime you get into something, you're going to be part of a community, and sometimes you might not have the gear, and then people might look at you and say, look, you don't have a camera, or but don't let that like bring you down. That's just like saying, oh, you don't have a lot of sneakers, blah blah blah. It's always going to be a toxic thing, and they always measure. And I spoke to a lot of photographers, and it's always going to be like that. It's a lot of measuring when it comes to
mhm.
the work. Sometimes it's just all about clout.
Yeah,
You go out and shoot, and then all of a sudden, no one wants to hit you up anymore. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because somebody got a client here, and they don't want to tell you, blah blah blah. It's just don't let those people or just anything just get you down. You just gotta keep doing you. And then you keep putting out the stuff there. You know, don't like I said, it's just not getting discouraged as far as like you might not get any likes or any like not seeing your stuff. So just keep posting. You know, so it's gonna be hard, but the more you do it, the more creative you get. I mean, that's just where it's going to get you. For me, fortunately, I had some people that kind of promoted my stuff, and I was asked by a few people to do their photos, and they showed their friends, and then hey, they liked it, and I'm fortunate by that. Like I'm thankful for them for sharing those photos. So I can't thank them enough for like putting me on to other people. So yeah, just keep doing you, man. Like just don't just keep going. Put it that way. Don't
hey,
let any
like I said, you're a baller first, photographer second, but one thing in common is that shooters shoot, right?
shooter shoot, man. You
No
gotta keep.
matter what, whether it's a bucket, an air ball, you hit rim, double rim, triple rim.
You could have a bad day of shooting, but what you do that day, you shot.
Yep, you
So
tried, right?
yeah, you shot your shots. So,
There you go.
that's all you can do is just shoot and shoot, man.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a lot of those people, but
There'll be days too, right? You'll have your off day. It's like anybody. Everyone has a bad day. It's about how you handle it.
yeah, exactly. But that's the best advice I could get. Is just don't get discouraged, because you will get discouraged when you see other people's work. You're like, oh damn, oh blah, or oh they're getting hit up so much. What
Yeah.
about me?
Yeah.
That's not gonna be. I'm like, if let's just say like some people I know like would rather hit me up or someone else. Okay, that's fine. I mean, not everyone's gonna like the style I
Hmm.
shoot. Like my edits. Not everyone's gonna like that. It's cool with me. It's not hurting me.
Yeah.
So yeah, just don't get discouraged.
There you go. That the words to live by. Shoot or shoot. Don't get discouraged, and then do your best.
Shooter
Word.
LLC coming soon.
There you go. Put that get that LLC, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. So that wraps it up for episode 49. We are one episode away from episode 50. We got something special. Still trying to figure out what we're gonna do with number 50. That's a big accomplishment for us. And like I said, with this current, life situations and, utmost respect, you're a family man first. You put your family, before anything. Much props to you. It's not easy that what you do every day, just being, a good father, good partner to your wife, and overall like good, just good person. So continue to keep doing what you're doing, keep
Yes,
doing what you love, and we're gonna continue to see more great pictures and memories and moments from in the times ahead.
yes, sir.
All right, guys, so that wraps up for episode 49. You got anything else to say, RJ?
Yeah, man. Reagan's been sleeping the whole time. So
Dang. She wants to see this
yeah,
podcast when she gets older.
yeah.
All
You
right.
talk too much, man.
Talk too much, Dad. What you talk about? What you talk too much too?
Man, no.
All right, guys. That wraps up for episode 49. All right, guys. You have a good night.
All right.